morning, and thank you for joining us on After GMS. It is Tuesday, November 10th. I'm Tracy McCain in studio with Megan Malaris. Our friends Taran Kirksey, Stacey Spivey, and Ed Matthews are all joining us remotely, but so close, yet so far away.
Yeah, and so many of you are joining us on the WFMY Facebook feed. I see a lot of familiar faces, some of our regulars signing on to say good morning. It is Tuesday. We've made it 1 week past the election. A lot to talk about there, but first, this forecast. We've enjoyed and been spoiled by so many nice days, but the weather is taking a turn.
Yes, certainly is taking a turn. We will have those rain chances returning for us as we go through the next few days out there. This morning we do have some patchy dense fog, but that will start to fade away as we go through the next few hours, and then we'll be left with partly to mostly cloudy skies building back in. High temperatures in the mid-70s. We'll see a couple of showers today. Better chance of more significant rainfall tomorrow on into Thursday. And then as we go into the weekend, we'll keep some rain chance around. Right now it's looking like it'll be right around 30 to 40%, but stay tuned on that. We'll keep you updated. Temperatures certainly look to be cooler this weekend as well. Highs only in the 50s and low 60s. That's a quick look at your 7-day forecast.
Right, I know we'll get another look at it later, but it's just so nice to see 70 degrees and not rain, but hey, you know, we take what we can get. All right, let's go ahead and start the morning with news about the coronavirus pandemic. Yesterday, we talked about encouraging news concerning the Pfizer vaccine's clinical trials, but today, Stacey, another spike in cases across the nation, and honestly, you're asking viewers a very important question about it.
Yeah, that's right. We've seen the daily number of new reported cases above 2,000 cases for about a week now. Today, Governor Roy Cooper and the Coronavirus Task Force will give an update at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and you can watch it on air on WFMY News 2 or online at WFMYnews2.com. And we can expect the governor to talk about reopening. Right now, phase 3 is set to expire on Friday. So this morning, I asked you on my Twitter page, what do you think should be done to stop the spread of the coronavirus? The majority of people believing that we need to all wear a face mask. And it seems like that is what also health leaders and experts are really just pushing at this time. We heard President-elect Joe Biden mention this, that he wants everyone to be wearing a mask. And our health leaders here in North Carolina continue to urge that as well. And I believe it was the governor of Ohio just issued a mask mandate in that state. Please correct me if I'm wrong, though. And I just really think that there is a big push right now for people to wear a face mask. It has been proven to help stop the spread of the virus. I will give one example. I know that my mom is at high risk for contracting COVID. She has multiple sclerosis, and she went to a friend's house and they both wore a face mask. 2 days later, they find out that the friend had COVID, and my mom did not get it. And we believe it's because she had a mask on, that both of them did, and that's what kept her from being safe.
So, Stacey, what were the other options in your poll besides wearing a mask?
Let me pull it up really quick just to make sure I have the right wording.
Yeah, we couldn't see.
Yeah, so it was stop reopening, continue virtual learning for schools, wait for a vaccine, or everyone wear a mask. And 68% of people have voted to wear a mask.
Got it. Well, we're hearing from already Bobby, who said, you know, the best thing to do is for everyone to wear a mask. And our Brian Washington also said wear a mask. But we also heard from Lakaya, who said the 3 W's. So maybe a combination.
Yeah, wash, wear, wait, 6 feet apart. Those are the 3 W's. And just a point of note about the case numbers. We had seen that trend above 2,000 for the past 4 or so days. That record high near 3,000 daily confirmed cases on Friday. Yesterday, we saw those new case numbers dip to about 1,500. But there's a caveat with that. Every Monday, we see the case numbers dip because tests take about 2 days to come back, the results to come back, and testing over the weekends is typically not as high as it is during the week. People have other things that they want to do besides wait in line to get a COVID test and a COVID swab. So, you know, that's one of the reasons we have to put these trends in context, but a very important potential decision today with phase 3 of the reopening plan set to expire this Friday night. Governor Cooper is making an announcement at 2 o'clock with his COVID task force. He has not indicated whether he will make a decision on what to do about phase 3, but there's no plan, at least laid out now for what comes next. Remember, many months ago, the governor's office laid out phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Those have been revised and some of the phases extended over these past few months, but it's really unclear what comes next. Is it a full reopening? Is it scaling back some? Does the mask mandate remain in effect? We'll have to see. We could get some answers today at 2. Ed Matthews, I know you're a big proponent of face masks, as are all of us. We're complying with the statewide mask mandate. Have you seen generally other people seeming to follow the rule?
Oh, everywhere I go, I see people wearing masks. So I think most people got it. I heard in the survey there, 68% say, wear a face mask. Kind of wish it'd be 100. Social distancing, using hand sanitizer, all of these things. It's been 9 months, folks. We should know this. It's easy to fall off the wagon. I've done it, okay? Even though I'm wearing the mask, maybe not as careful as I could be, using hand sanitizer and social distancing with people as well. Hey, we're all human, right? We kind of relax. Time to get back on the horsey and ride along and be extra careful. That's the only way that we're ever going to curb this virus. We have got to stay vigilant with our social distancing and wearing the mask and all the other things that go along with that. So it's just not the face mask wearing, it is all of the above. Everything that the CDC has asked us to do and begged us to do, we should continue to do it.
You know, Taran, I was talking to this with my husband about this. I feel like people are also more cleanly. You know, they are taking a little bit more time to wash their hands and actually wait 20 seconds, more than they probably have in the past, which could be a good thing, something to consider as, you try to fight a pandemic.
Yeah, definitely. And to Ed's point, I think people have gotten a little, at least some people, a little tired of, dealing with this pandemic. But in the words, or I guess a quote from kind of a viral video that came out a few months back, the pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. I understand and I certainly can kind of feel that that feeling, for lack of a better word. It's been a long year. It has been a lot in many ways, and I know that we all are craving a sense of normalcy, and obviously wearing a mask doesn't really give you that sense of normalcy. So I understand if you're tired of doing that, but with that said, they have been, and by they I mean people who actually have been studying infectious diseases long before I was ever thought of being born, okay, who know what they're talking about, have been asking and begging us to just do simple things like wear a mask, wash your hands, which we should have all been doing anyway for a long time, long before a pandemic, and social distance. And as we go into these winter months, quite honestly, I am concerned. When it starts getting colder outside, people tend to start congregating, and it's easier to social distance on a nice day outside, but are people really going to be willing to have to cancel some events that they can't, gather people together? I don't know. But we need to just continue to, and this is all my opinion. If you disagree, feel free to yell at me in the comments, or you can email me, tkirksey@wfny.com. That's fine with me too. But it's just the way it is, folks. And we all are responsible for doing our part, not only just to maintain a civil society aside from the pandemic, but with this pandemic, just doing these simple steps to try to stem the tide while pharmaceutical companies, government, and other entities are working hard to not only come up with a vaccine, but also come up with good treatment options for people that do end up catching COVID. I mean, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's up to us to try to make it through this winter, to make it to the other side of this in the spring, when it seems like we're really going to start to see a lot of things roll out that will help to hopefully end this pandemic, because I'm tired of it too.
Well, Taran, I think we have to start thinking about winter. What do we want to do? What are we going to be comfortable doing if these cases still trend in the wrong direction? For me, I was talking to my husband about my son's first birthday. You know, we had initially planned before the pandemic to get family and friends together. It's a big milestone, you know, let's celebrate. Obviously, we're not going to do that anymore. So what can we do that would still be special? We had talked about maybe going to the North Carolina Zoo. Yeah, it'll be January 1st. It's going to be cold outside, but hey, we're fine just bundling him up as long as it's not pouring rain or snow. You know, we're going to just be prepared, dress appropriately, and try to stay outside as much as possible, even heading into the winter, because that is, according to the experts, does reduce, it's not foolproof, but does reduce your likelihood of contracting the virus if you're in an outside setting, more likely to social distance than you would be, say, inside. So fingers crossed for a mild winter.
All right, well, the governor is expected to give an update today, and of course we'll have it on WFNYnews2.com. I'm sure we'll be talking about it tomorrow on the Good Morning Show, so make sure that you stick around with us for that.
Let's get to our headlines this morning. A lot to cover in election 2020. Monday, North Carolina elections officials said they were able to count another 3,200 absentee ballots, all postmarked by the election day deadline. There are still more than 91,000 absentee ballots outstanding, which could be counted if they come in by the deadline Thursday, or if the voter did not vote in person. Remember, most county boards will meet this Thursday, November 12th, the deadline to count those votes. Then the state will begin officially certifying the results. That certification is Friday the 13th. Coronavirus vaccine trials at Wake Forest Baptist Health are underway. So far, researchers have given the Moderna vaccine to about 300 people. Researchers say at this point there are no serious side effects reported. All participants have to be monitored for 2 months before Moderna can apply for emergency development with the FDA.
Lexington police are asking for your help tracking down a robbery suspect. Police say the suspect stole from a Dollar General store while wearing a mask from the popular movie Scream. Take a look at the surveillance pictures. It happened at the store on Highway 64, November 1st. Police say the suspect walked in with a gun, demanded cash, and then took off. If you know anything about this crime, call Crime Stoppers. Some Triad students are making a slow return to the classroom with some fast moves there. Kindergarten students at Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools are learning in person. This is video from the first day at Jefferson Elementary. Next week, first grade students will return to in-person learning. And tonight, Guilford County school leaders will discuss what they should do next. Our Candace Red breaks down tonight's agenda.
Guilford County Schools is working to protect more than 73,000 students and about 10,000 employees amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The school district kicked off the academic year with remote learning only. Well, at first, GCS was preparing to welcome pre-K through second grade students back into classrooms for in-person learning on October 20th. The reopening plan has been continuously delayed due to high levels of community spread of COVID-19. The Guilford County Board of Education will meet tonight to review the latest data and community health metrics put in place to drive school reopening decisions. GCS Superintendent Dr. Sharon Contreras wants the board to consider 3 additional indicators for reopening. That includes students' academic and social outcomes, emotional well-being, and the emerging science regarding school re-entry. Well, Dr. Contreras will also recommend an immediate phased-in reopening plan. It allows pre-K through second graders to return to classrooms for in-person learning as early as Thursday, November 12th. Tonight's meeting will also include an important discussion on whether or not GCS will continue trying to reopen schools prior to winter break or simply wait until January. For more details on tonight's meeting, all you have to do is visit our website, WFNYnews2.com.
Well, tomorrow is a very important day in our nation. It's Veterans Day, a day where we pay tribute, honor, and respect our veterans. Usually a lot of events happening, celebrations, but of course, due to the pandemic, everything's changed. So, Stacy, we don't have to stop celebrating our veterans. There are ways that we can get involved.
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't stop celebrating our veterans. It's really about making sure that we still honor and recognize their service, with many of the traditional ceremonies and parades canceled. So the city of Winston-Salem actually launched a social media campaign. If you post a picture of a veteran using the hashtag WSLovesVets, the city will feature one each day on its social media accounts this month. And tomorrow we want to also celebrate all veterans with some photos, so text us about the veteran in your life. You can send a photo with their name and maybe a few words about them, and that number is 336-379-5775. So please be sure to send those in. We may feature them on the Good Morning Show tomorrow morning. Love to hear about all the different vets in your life and the stories that you have about what makes them so special and why you love them.
Yeah, I really wish I had an opportunity to meet my grandfather, John McCain, not obviously the Senator John McCain, a different John McCain. But, you know, he was an Army veteran and served proudly in the United States Army. And my father tells me wonderful stories about him and his service to our country at a time when he was fighting for more than, you know, American freedoms. He was fighting for personal freedom, too. And so I really wish that I was able to meet him, but I have great respect for everything that he did, not only for our family, but for our country. And I just love watching, like looking at the pictures of him. So that's the veteran in my life that I never met, but respect oh so much.
Yeah, North Carolina has such a large military population. Nearly 700,000 veterans live here. It's so crucial we just even say thank you tomorrow on Veterans Day. I was talking to some leaders of a local veterans nonprofit about how we can recognize this holiday. The suggestion: go visit a veterans memorial. If it's raining, perhaps drive by and pay tribute to some of the names that you see there. Remember, Veterans Day is about all veterans, all who have served in the military. Memorial Day is when we honor those who have died in military service. But tomorrow has very celebratory tones, a way to honor all those folks who give the sacrifice of their time and service in the U.S. military. And of course, we have to remember their families too, who are also along for that journey. I've had the pleasure, the honor of interviewing several World War II veterans in these recent years. And wow, the stories I've heard from them and the valor, it almost can't be replicated. Ed Matthews, just the greatest generation, is so true.
Absolutely. And we can never, ever, ever forget our brave men and women who have served to keep our country free. You know, I was just thinking, back when I was a teenager, I started something that I do up till today, and I'll continue to do for the rest of my life. Whenever I meet a veteran, I always make sure that I thank them for their service. Whatever situation I'm in, if I find out that somebody is within speaking distance and I can, you know, thank them for their bravery in keeping our country free, I definitely do that. And I would encourage, you know, some of the younger people that are watching, or any of you really, to maybe establish something like that and just let them know. I know they appreciate it, but they have fought bravely, so bravely, you know, in the military to keep us free. I was a little kid during the Vietnam War, and every time you turned on the TV, it was Walter Cronkite talking about the war every single day. And I used to think, oh no, are they going to draft me? Well, of course they weren't going to draft me because I was a little kid. But it made me think. It made me think about going out on the battlefield, you know, to defend freedom. And so we need to think about that, not only on Veterans Day, but every day. Try to think about these brave men and women.
Yeah, Stacey, we have several comments already coming in. You've been asking for stories of local veterans in your life, and folks, people want to shout out in honor of Veterans Day. So let's share some of those.
And before I do that, I just want to mention this, and I'm going to type it as well. I seem to have trouble typing right now on the Facebook stream, and I mistyped the number that you can text us to. It's 336-379-5775. I'm going to type it again. That's just my bad for typing wrong. But Violet said, proud of my brother who is a veteran of the U.S. Army. And let's see. R. Brian said his dad died from Agent Orange. And there was one other person I know that I saw, but I cannot find it right now.
Lakaya.
Actually, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Lakaya, she said the night nurse for her patient is a veteran, a retired police officer, and a nurse who volunteers to travel and spread hope to veterans who suffer from mental health disorders. She is great. Thank you, Jennifer Crawford. A lot of wonderful shout outs coming in. Terrain Kirksey, I'm sure you know veterans in your life as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just ditto to everything that you all said. I mean, it is because of their sacrifice of time and their bravery that we have the freedom to have the discussions and the debates and all the other stuff that comes along with living in a democracy. And so we certainly thank them again for their service. And, you know, I think all of us, I have several veterans in my family, you know, from going all the way back to Vietnam, also the Iraq War as well, and, you know, grandparents, kind of like what Tracy was saying, that fought in some of the world wars and then came home and weren't, you know, treated with equality. So, you know, definitely a lot of bravery in all these folks that have sacrificed so much in their families as well. We just, you know, we can't say thank you enough.
I echo that sentiment. Taran, we also say thank you for a forecast that has blessed us with so many beautiful days. We do need the rain, which is coming in force soon.
Yeah, the rain chances are going to increase by later tonight, likely after midnight. This morning we're still dealing with some fog as I look over the landscape here in the weather garden, still some around. Now there will be some sunshine, but I think overall the clouds are going to win out today. They'll be plentiful and we could see a few spotty showers mainly this afternoon. But look at this, we're going to warm into the low, enough sunshine. Could get a few spots even into the mid 70s. And then the rain chances ramp up late tonight. A very wet Veterans Day and on into Thursday as well. About a 70 to 80% chance of rain. We're looking at low 70s both days. A little break in the action for Friday and for most of Saturday before more moisture builds over the region by Saturday night and Sunday. So we'll increase the shower chances somewhat and cool it back into those much cooler lower 60s. But I say that with the lower 60s being normal for this time of year. We have been so far above normal in recent days.
As Tracy said in the comments, she just stepped off camera. She's not feeling super well, but she's okay. Just wanted to let you know why she left the set if you missed that comment. But thank you all for joining us today for a great conversation on After GMS. Please continue sending us your veterans photos. We'd love to share them with you tomorrow on Veterans Day. Thank a hero, and thank you again for joining us. We'll see you later.